Good morning, boys and girls. All right, we are up to chapter 30 in Swindle. Just a couple more chapters left. Where we left last, the detective was at Griffin's house, and they were checking up and down through their house. They couldn't find the card, and he just kept sticking to one story, and it was, I don't know where it is. I don't have it, and I didn't steal it, because in his way he was telling the truth because it was already his, and Swindle stole it. So now we're up to chapter 30, and we'll see how if he ends up going to juvie. All right, here we go. Chapter 30. Ben called on Saturday morning, but Griffin was afraid to say much. What if the police had bugged their phone? So, Ben, did anything unusual happen yesterday? Any visitors at your house? Oh, yeah, Ben replied nervously. I think we all had visitors. They talked about you a lot, the visitors, I mean. And are you all right? Kind of, Griffin told him. For now. You? Still part deaf in one ear from my mother yelling? There was an awkward pause. How about the apple? Griffin subjected him to a long silence. I don't know anything about any apple. He was dying to say, it's okay, it's still hidden, it's safe, but there's no way he could risk mentioning the card now. At this moment, it might be the single hottest item in the greater New York area. Oh, yeah, gotcha, Ben stammered. Have you seen the paper? There's a lot about what happened, but they don't mention any names. That's good news, right? Griffin sighed. I don't know what's good news anymore. The only good news was not being arrested. He expected it to happen at any second. He could hear distant police sirens in every ordinary household sound. The power hum of a computer, the whir of the microwave, the refrigerator motor. He spent the weekend in a state of constant terror, sleeping no more than 5 or 10 minutes at a stretch. He was truly astonished still to be a free man when school resumed on Monday morning. It took an enormous mustering of courage to appear in the halls. But to his surprise and relief, all eyes didn't instantly dart to him. True, the heist was the big story in Cedarville, yet it did not seem to be known who the prime suspects were. Maybe that made sense. Maybe it's typical of the adult world not to consider that kids could pull off such an elaborate operation. The other team members pitched. Savannah, Melissa, Logan, and Darren kept their distance. Everyone understood that the heat was on. They're probably under orders from their folks to stay away from you, Ben offered. I sure am. It was sort of the first things my mother yelled. Sort of stupid, right? I mean, the police already know who we are. Don't worry, Griffin promised. I'll take all the blame. My plan, my problem. He looked around uneasily. To be honest, I can't believe the cops haven't come for me yet. Did you see the story on the Sunday paper? Ben asked. It's just about accused Swindle of ripping somebody off to get the card in the first place. The whole country's going to learn what a crook this guy is. Griffin winced. That means one of us has been talking too much. Probably Darren. It's one thing to answer a few questions and another to give a play-by-play of the whole operation. That same article had a long description of the smart pick plucking the card out of Swindle's tree. Anybody can check with the patent office and find out that's my dad's invention. And that could lead them to me. I'm toast. But the astonishing thing is he wasn't toast. Although Griffin's fevered imagination conjured up a police officer behind every telephone ball, Detective Sergeant Vizzini did not even come back for him. Not that day, not Tuesday, not even Wednesday. People were still buzzing around about the missing baseball card, but the world just kept turning. Even S. Wendell Palomino had been released from the hospital and could now be found behind the counter of his shop. There weren't many customers. Word had spread that the dealer could not be trusted. Griffin held that fact to his heart. It was a glowing coal on an icy night, a tiny measure of justice. Did that mean the intense heat was beginning to cool off? Was it crazy to believe such a thing? Even Mom and Dad let Ben come over for a couple hours so they could work on their science project together. At least Mom said okay. Dad was making himself pretty scarce lately. Griffin couldn't escape the feeling that his father was avoiding him out of anger and distress over this whole affair. It made him you made him extremely sad. Have you been noticing the others talking to me at school? Ben whispered during the research. They're asking what's going on with the apple. Well, tell them to hang in there, Griffin advised. This isn't over yet. You mean you got it? I know where to get it, Griffin replied cryptically. Ben couldn't hold back. Where'd you mail it to, Griffin? Who's keeping it for us? It's not a good idea for you to know. It was a measure of their friendship that there was no suspicion in Ben's eyes. He trusted Griffin absolutely and had faith in the man with the plan. When do you think it's going to be safe to go for it? It's been almost a week now. How long do we have to wait? That was the $1 million question. The coast seemed to be clear. But now, how could it be? The passage of 6 days didn't mean that the heist never happened, and the revelation that Swindle deserved what he got didn't undo the fact that the card had been taken from his house. And yet, where were the police? Not at the big home, not at the school. Griffin still couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. But it was exactly that, just a feeling. The facts suggested that the cops must have moved on to other things. All crime didn't grind to a halt because a baseball card got stolen. They had new cases, laws to enforce, and police business to attend to. At least I hoped. Griffin knew that the longer he waited, the safer he would be. He also knew that the more time the card was out there, the greater the chance that something might happen to it. He analyzed the situation every which way, and the answer always came back the same. The moment was now. All right. Chapter 31 is next. I guess we'll find out what happened to that card. All right. Have a great day, boys and girls.